New this morning, we've now learned the identities of two teenagers who were killed when the car they were in crashed into the Willamette River. 19-year-old Roberto Garcia Chavez and 17-year-old Trent Badillo were both in the car that crashed into the river at about 2 o'clock on Monday morning. Officials say Chavez was driving when Portland police tried to pull him over, but instead of stopping, Chavez sped off, drove eastbound along Southwest Harvey Milk, and then crossed over NATO Parkway into Waterfront Park before crashing right through the metal railing along the Willamette River and into the water. There were 4 people in the car at the time. Now, one of them was found swimming in the river shortly after the crash. The 4th person is still missing.